Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are looking at an older polish of mine. This is a thermal polish and just barely continues to change. This is Winter Fire by Femme Fatale. In the warm state, it is a dusty cherry red, and in the cold state, it is a deeper navy blue. However, because of its age, it doesn't transition as starkly as it used to, so it ends at, I'm going to say, sort of a deep Merlot color. The polish also has a bunch of iridescent doodads that pull the colder state to more of a green or teal. Now, this is a very old thermal. I got it in the fall of 2019, so it is now 5 years old. It barely transitions. I don't think you can tell, but the bottle is also nearly finished. I'll probably get 2 to 3 more manicures out of it. She has served me well, and I will remember her fondly. This is the first year that it has not transitioned well. You will also notice that the formula looks very thin. I have thinned it to be more workable because there is barely any left. It's hard to get the polish out of the bottle because the fill line is so low. So having it thinned this much helps it flow up the sides of the bottle when I tilt it almost horizontal to wet the brush. You will see I need to redip my brush twice just for my thumb. When this polish was new, most of my nails only required 2 coats, but I did need a third for my thumb. You can see those iridescent glitter in the mix, which are shifting red to green to gold. It also has a gold to red shimmer that is just starting to build up. We're going to describe the base color in more depth in the full hand shots, but know that right now what you're seeing is closer to its warmest state as it currently exists. The other thing you should know is that this is my original red polish. This is the polish that convinced me that I didn't completely hate red on my nails. It helped that sometimes it wasn't red. I could enjoy the red when it appeared, but be reassured that the bluish green would return like a safety blanket to keep me comfortable. On camera, I think this was looking pretty good. But in person, I could see some uneven spots, and I wanted that third coat. All of my other nails had needed 3, so it seemed extremely unlikely my thumb would not. And again, I'm going to do a little self-congratulation. My cuticle line looks great on this thumb. That doesn't happen all that often. I do consider this part of my Halloween extravaganza. I have featured a couple of polishes on my channel that I do consider Halloween polishes, but I don't see any point in re-swatching them here. I would include Damn It Malachi by Bee's Knees here, and I would also include Never Trust the Living by Lumen. I think those are great candidates. I have other polishes that will fit the theme, so I thought, why not feature those? In its current form, I think of this polish as a fall polish because it sits in that range of rusty reds, golds, and greens. But for me, originally, this polish was very dark emotionally. I always thought of it as a zombie polish, the blood red with the blue and the green of decay, the leadened colors, and the glitters and flakes evoking rent dead flesh. If you're thinking, this is a little much, it probably is, but that is also why I like it so much. It just so embodied that vision of a zombie for me. Also, this polish has the inspiration of Pennywise from Stephen King's It, so I have a feeling it was imagined with violence in mind in the first place. On the third coat, my fingers are getting colder, so we are seeing the colder state of the polish. In 3, I am getting the coverage I want. I did go in for a coat of glitter smoother for the entire manicure. I didn't include a clip of the glitter smoother being applied, but do know that it is Glisten & Glow's Glitter Grabber. This polish is also a little harder to remove because of the glitter. As I was writing the script, the polish was still in my nails, and I had looked down to see how many glitter were there. Yeah, this probably took me an extra 5 minutes to remove. The glitter are of a medium size and plentiful. I feel like I say this all the time, but glitter removal is not a deal breaker for me. The full hand shots are divided into the warm state and the cold state. Starting with the warm, in the sun you can see that just slightly dusty cherry red. The iridescent glitter and shimmer show mainly as gold and green, but I feel like you can see the red hiding in between them. If my hands appear wet, they are. In order to make the thermal change on command, I was using some previously boiled water and some ice water. I only had a few seconds to remove the water because my nails would transition back to a different state if I took too long. So sorry if they look a little waterlogged. In the cold state, you can see it's more of a red wine color, and the green of the shimmer is more apparent than the gold now. When it transitioned a lot more into a navy blue, the cold state could look almost a forest green because of the amount of shimmer. But this is part of the natural life cycle of a thermal. At some point, their thermal properties become defunct and they just do not transition anymore. Now we're in the shade, but we're back to the warm state. Sometimes those little iridescent glitter and shimmer can give a blue shift here. I see them only at extreme angles. I also think the red is more apparent and the green has been surpassed by the gold shifts. Ooh, and the magic of the shade is about to appear. The cold state accentuates those green shifts, and I feel like the gold has been transformed to more of an orange. When I lift my fingers, I think you can see how that blue shift makes the polish look like mulled wine. Then, when my fingers lower, you can see how strongly it pulls green. I think this is a great fall color for those who partake in wearing polish seasonally. I am sorry that I do have a wound on one of my fingers. I did try to wait as long as I could to do my filming, but eventually I did just run out of time. And we're about to head indoors. I think this looks identical to the warm shade shots, just with a little less light reflected off the surface of the nail. I think that makes it a little easier to see. You are getting some green, but mostly gold, orange, and red. The cherry base looks just a smidge darker, but that is the only difference that I think that I see. If this existed without its darker thermal state, the polish would appear almost cheerful. Back to the cold state, my ring finger was really determined to stay warm, so it looks just a little different than the others, but we'll let her be as she is. Again, the base does look darker inside, but I think we have lost any hint of that blue shift. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching. I have reached 200 subscribers. I would like to reference Pride and Prejudice and say I am all astonishment, but thank you. I did not expect this. Please enjoy a clip of my downy woodpecker trying to break into the birdhouse. Maybe I should just take the little metal panel off for her and let her have the house.